Good morning, everybody. Figured we'd do a little filming today. We're back at it here at Full Custom Fab Performance and working on this sweet little S10 we talked about in the last video. Making some fuel line today using 6 fuel line, using Flow Supplies products here. And we use all crimp fittings. That's the after, that's the before. Now look, my video is not professional, so y'all don't expect a whole lot. But I'm gonna show you the process. So we've already put the ends on the line. That's kind of the hard part. And I can't video that because there's a lot of a lot of foul language. So so what we do is we measure our ferrule, and we're looking for, on a dash 6. We're looking at about 16.1 millimeters before crimping, and then we're going to stick it in the machine here, and I'm going to bring the die down, or I'm going to bring the press down here. This is going to get a little loud. I'm going to double check one more time to make sure that it's lined up, and I've got my micrometer set to tell me when to stop crimping. So I'm lined up here. All right, so we've got our crimped in. Let me show you what it looks like again. So it's crimped now. And so we had a 16.1 before. Now, when we crimp it, we're looking for about a 14.1 millimeter. And we're at 14.3. So that is good. It's within spec. So the reason I like to use these crimp fittings, if you've ever done any AN fitting, they're a little bit peculiar. So the old styles, you slip the ferrule on and then you drive the piece home and screw it in, and it screws tight against the line. The problem with those fittings is one, they're prone to leak. There's not as much leeway in those deals. Some of the ones you get are made of cheaper material, and they'll flex inside the line. The ferrules will actually work their way loose, and the ends will pop off, which creates leaks. What we like to do here is I like to do the crimp fittings because, one, I know that I've got a good seal here when I'm finished as long as all my crimps are within spec. So I don't have to worry about the customer coming back in 6 months and saying, hey, my fitting blew off or my fitting loose or whatever. Now, another thing I like about these lines is these crimp fittings. So a lot of people don't talk about this. A screw-in fitting is kind of like a single-use deal. Some people say it isn't, but it is. It's a single-use deal. So if, say, my customer has a problem and this line burst or this line rubs a hole or whatever, he brings it back to me, I can cut this crimp fitting off and I can reuse this fitting that he paid good money for. These fittings are a little bit more expensive, but you get your money's worth, because if I have to build him a new line or I have to repair this line, I can cut this crimp fitting off. I can pull this out and I can reuse it because it's just a standard fitting. I'll show you how it works. So your fitting is just a regular slip in. It's got some ridges on it. And your ferrule, hang on, let me get where you see it. Your ferrule just slides on. So this goes on the line, this goes in the line, and it fits up just like this. But like I said, if I ever have to make a repair, I can cut this fitting off. I can make the repair using the same fitting. I just use a new crimp fitting, put it on there, and it costs the customer less money to have it repaired. So, you know, kind of what I like doing is I want to give the customer the best possible job and the best possible product as I can. and also look down the road to where they don't feel like I'm constantly beating them up. They're constantly getting beat over the head every time they need a repair or every time something happens. So, you know, I want to do good work, and hey, like the saying goes, good work ain't cheap, and cheap work ain't good. And I want to give the customer their money's worth, but I want to also have peace of mind that they got a good job, and we use good products. This I use flow supply fittings, flow supply AN line, and all that stuff comes from Nitro Dave's. He does the nitrous outlet and 860 performance, and he's got a whole line of products there, and all of his stuff is top notch.